Good morning and welcome to Living Local 15. I'm your host, Jessica Williams. Thank you for joining me today. It's time to grab a cup of joe and enjoy the show. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so I wanted to wish you and your family a happy holiday week. And if you're traveling, safe travels. And on today's show, I am chatting with communication coach Michelle Gladieux about intentional communication skills when socializing with family and friends, especially over the holidays. Then it's Women's Wealth Wednesday with Foster Financial, and we're discussing qualified charitable distributions. And later, I'm showing you how to spice up your Thanksgiving with Pumpkin Spice Bourbon. That and more happening now.
Fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
As we head into the holiday season, a time filled with family gatherings and meaningful conversations, we want to share some expert tips and strategies for socializing and communicating effectively with loved ones. Whether it's navigating sensitive topics or making your voice heard, this information will help you approach the holidays with confidence. So joining me now is Michelle Gladieux, who is a communications coach and author of Communicate with Courage. Good morning, Michelle.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yes. Okay. Well, we are definitely in the holiday season. In a couple of days, we have Thanksgiving and then, of course, the big Christmas holiday. And this time of year, people really do come together most to be with their family. Mm-hmm. And so through your studying and really becoming an author and focusing on the topic of communication, what have you learned most about how people communicate with their family?
I've learned that it is sort of a fraught journey, that there is no family that's perfect. There is no human that's a perfect communicator. And I think that we do best when we're willing to accept that we all show up at that table with strengths and weaknesses. And while we can be aware of our own, we may not be dining or spending time with those who are aware of their strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
So grace is always a good way to go. Grace with oneself and grace with others. I talk to a lot of audiences and teams about how no one human is more valuable or more correct necessarily than any other, but we all adhere to our own belief systems, of course. So the temptation when you're around family, first of all, they're not paying you to hang out with them, like the people at work. Or, you're being paid to be in the workplace. Yeah. I think the most important thing to remember might be have some grace and remember that you cannot control others' behavior, but you can be, I think of it as almost a dance, 50% of the quality of that communication, that's on you. The other 50% is on the person that you are sending and receiving messages with. We can't control what happens there, but we can set some boundaries for ourselves and some goals for ourselves. So I would hope that all our listeners, the audience today, thinks about what they want to get out of those holiday gatherings, maybe a simple intention such as, I want to really, be where my feet are, is something I've been thinking about. Not be thinking about the past, not be thinking about the future, but be thinking about how every day is a gift. And I don't know how long I have these people around me. So whether they are our favorites or our least favorite family member or friend, find a way to appreciate something about them, and that situation might go a little bit easier.
Right.
At the same time, we all need boundaries. So if someone isn't being respectful to you, it is very valuable to know what you will accept and won't accept in others' behaviors, and be willing to even gently say something like, you know what, I don't want to go there right now. I just want to enjoy the meal and enjoy being together. We could talk about that later, though.
Yeah.
If you have some time in the next week or two, maybe we could talk about that.
Yeah.
And isn't this cranberry relish delicious? How about the art of changing the subject sometimes as well?
So the topic of communication is something that's so fascinating to me. It's something that I studied in school. And so I love diving into just the strategy and just really understanding how to approach specifically the holiday season. I think that one thing is so important is by lowering expectation, because sometimes people go in and they're wanting something more than what the other person can really give them, right? And so I love what you said about grace, because if you already just accept the fact that you're going to go with the flow and not allow for chaos to, overwhelm the communication, I think that provides for a successful time with family. And so something that I found interesting in your book, you really highlighted on 4 things about being the best communicator, which is hiding, defining, rationalizing, and settling. So share with me what those areas really, maybe just a little synopsis of each of those areas.
Just a little touch. Okay, these are 4 challenges that I call the hidden challenges because it seems like most of my loved ones and clients and teammates and myself, we have them sort of in peripheral vision. And I wrote the book to try to help people turn and go ahead and look at some of the things that might be obstacles in their path to being a great communicator. One of them is hiding from risk, and that's when we're afraid to let others see our feelings, our vulnerabilities, or our weaknesses, when it might be beneficial to us to come clean on that.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's, you know, that hurt my feelings when you said that. Let's drop the subject. Wow, that's actually very brave. Another is settling for good enough, and that's when we accept C+ communication from ourselves when we know we could do a little bit better. Maybe it is time for us to change the subject for someone else, get them out of a situation where you see they're uncomfortable, or raise your voice, use your voice, not yell, but pull upon your courage and use your voice so that you can enforce some healthy boundaries. Another is, so we have settling for good enough, hiding from risk, and another is defining to be right, defining to be right. So those folks, I mean, it's us sometimes, and it's everyone else sometimes. It's being so darn sure that everything you believe is correct. And I don't think that can be possible, and it also makes you very unapproachable. So those were a couple of the hidden challenges that I delve into in the book. I tried to keep it pretty short. It's 140 pages. I didn't give many chapters, much more than 10 pages, but I hope folks will pick it up because I've kind of I've filled it with pro moves, and those pro moves are things folks can do that are just a hair beyond what the average bear would take on, but it can really relate to joy and success in relationships.
Absolutely. And so talking about that, so the Communicate with Courage, beautiful book here. And what I loved is, like you said, there are many messages in it. So you can open up at any point and just kind of get an understanding. You touch on each area. There's so many areas of communication, right? But some of them, like understanding, you know, personality as a growth tool, or understanding that attitude counts, or fear can be a friend. And you just kind of have each of these little thinking spots. And so what made you want to write this book?
I thought about it for a long time, and I worked on it for 5 years, and I've been loving working with audiences of 15 to 1,500 for the last 20 years. But now that I have known those thousands of coaching clients, and I see some similarities among all these diverse humans, I wanted to reach a larger audience, so I felt that it was time. I had Elizabeth Gilbert, the writer, says, she says, write about what's causing a revolution in your heart. And I see people limited from success and joy in relationships at work and in their personal lives because no one has taken the time to point out that all of us have potential to be a great communicator. So I'm pointing that out, and I'm calling out what I see as the obstacles.
Absolutely. And of course, before I let you go, the biggest topic that people are contemplating discussing right now is the heavy topic of politics and whether or not to bring it up at family gatherings, or and I've even seen people discuss, like, if you have different political views, maybe you shouldn't meet with that family over the holidays. And I think that's personally ridiculous because it's like, be around people.
It's not ideal.
Right. Be around people. Like you said, life is limited. You don't have to discuss the things that you disagree with, or you can, but just enjoy each other's company. It's not about what a person's political belief is. It's about the person that they are and just valuing that time, right?
Ideal, yes. And I've said to family members, I think you and I are, in fact, pulling our information from such different sources that I believe what I'm reading and hearing, and you believe what you're reading and hearing, and we're probably not going to change each other's minds, but I value this time with you. So state your intention. I value being around you. I don't want to have an argument. Can we change the subject?
Right.
And remembering that we are equally valuable and trying to treat people that way. I mean, this sounds easy, and it's not. And simple stuff like taking a breath. I've noticed that when I get upset, my breathing becomes very shallow. But if I need to go to the bathroom. I'm going to go to the bathroom, maybe take a couple deep breaths, remind myself this is a few hours out of my life, and I can certainly come back and then interact with as much grace as possible. I try.
Exactly.
I'm not on your show because I'm great at this.
Well, listen, thank you so much, Michelle, for chatting. We'll need to have you back and go in deeper on some of these really important topics, because communication really is number one. So thank you.
Sure.
Communicate with Courage can be found everywhere you get your books. So we'll have their website listed below, and I'll see you after the break. 2 years ago, we did a holiday scooter giveaway that was so heartwarming and beautiful to see. We ran a contest and a sweet man won the chance to have mobility again because his daughter entered him into the contest. Well, guess what? The Mobility Plus scooter giveaway is back this year, and you have until December 2nd to enter to win. Here's more details. Do you know someone who is struggling to get around and needs help regaining their independence? Mobility Plus Columbia City and WANE 15 are teaming up this holiday season to give the gift of mobility. Go to WANE.com's contest page now to nominate them for a chance to win a golden mobility scooter just in time for the holidays. Then watch Living Local 15 for the surprise reveal as we award the lucky winner with the gift of mobility. This segment sponsored by Foster Financial. Welcome to Women's Wealth Wednesday, where we provide you with interesting information that is useful to your finances and your investments. And joining me today is Caleb Doan, the Vice President of Foster Financial. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
It's going well. How are you doing?
Good. Okay, Caleb. The end of the year is approaching, and of course, people have to get their finances in order to meet deadlines by the end of the year and also prepare for the first quarter.
Yeah.
And so today we're going to talk about Qualified Charitable Distributions.
Yeah.
So what is that?
Yeah, so QCDs, Qualified Charitable Distributions, this is the ability for somebody to donate to a nonprofit organization directly from their IRA. And so a lot of people are thinking, well, hey, I donate to my church or whatever it is, right from my checking account. I write a check, I drop it in the plate. Why would I switch that over to be from my IRA? And the reason is because there's a lot of tax benefits from doing that.
Yeah.
So basically, normally you have to pay taxes on any withdrawal that comes out of an IRA. Okay, so if you're in the 20% effective tax bracket, if you're pulling out $5,000 from your IRA, you're going to pay $1,000 in taxes, right? But if that money goes to a nonprofit organization, it comes out completely tax-free. So at the end of the year, it still shows on your 1099 that you took out some money from the IRA, but the accountant gets to code it as a qualified charitable distribution, and you don't pay any taxes on it.
Right. And then, of course, people be thinking like an IRA is like this account that's somewhere hidden in your bank portfolio. So how do you access money to give it to the church? Do you write a check? Do you have to do a cashier's check? How does that happen?
Yeah, good question. So, an IRA, that's kind of the main type of account that we deal with at Foster Financial. These are oftentimes the 401ks that somebody has that gets rolled over into their IRA. And we invest in, stock market positions inside the IRA, but we also keep a cash balance in that account too. So we can give somebody a checkbook to their IRA and say, hey, how much do you think you're going to write to charities over the course of the year? And then we keep a bit of a cash balance in there, and they write that check against that cash balance. This is especially important when people hit RMD age. So that
required minimum distributions.
Yeah, there you go.
We're
learning on here, yeah. When you're RMD age, the government starts forcing you to take money out of that IRA, and normally you have to pay taxes when it comes out. And so somebody might be in a situation where, they normally donate about $5,000 a year, and they really don't have to pull any money out of their IRA because they're living off a pension or Social Security. Their IRA just sits out there and grows in the market. Well, at some point, the government might say, hey, you actually need to pull out $5,000 this year from that account. And so if they didn't do QCDs, they'd be donating $5,000 from their checking account with their bank like they normally do. And then the government would say, you need to pull out $5,000 and pay taxes on it by the end of the year. So they would do that, they'd pay the taxes. Well, instead of doing that, if they would have just done the QCD right from the IRA, it satisfies your required minimum distribution.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so what age? Who's the qualifier for this?
Yeah, so QCDs are 70 and a half. We love our half ages, of course, with the IRS. If you're 70 and a half or older, you get to do QCDs.
Okay.
And those RMDs, the required minimum distributions, start at age 73. And it's getting older, kind of the further we go along. But starting at age 73 for the
Okay.
RMDs. Yep.
So wait, so QCD, you say 70 and a half.
Yep.
So if you're in your 60s, this method doesn't apply to you.
Right.
You can't pull out and have it be tax-free.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yep.
very important, very important. Okay, good stuff. So what do you recommend people do to prepare for this? Like, we're at the end of the year. Is it best to get it done now, or could they have been working with you throughout the year to prepare for this moment?
Yeah, well, a lot of times people are pretty, habitual with their giving over the course of the year. So they'll give to their church once a month or something like that, as opposed to all in one chunk at the end of the year. And so you can do this throughout the entire year. The kind of deadline comes up, especially for those people who have RMDs and need to get it done by the end of the year. They say, oh man, how do I get this out without having to pay taxes on it? And the QCDs can be a really good way to do that. So, that's one thing that we keep track of for all of our clients.
Oh, nice. Okay.
We'll keep track of the RMD, make sure they hit that by the end of the year, and we'll also send them a tax letter around tax time to say, hey, give this to your CPA. It'll list out all the different checks that you wrote to charities from the IRA, so that the CPA knows, all right, don't charge taxes on these. Make sure I code these as a qualified charitable distribution.
Right. Okay. Good stuff. I mean, it just shows why people need a financial advisor, because it's not just about, oh, let me know my best stock options, but y'all actually really monitor each account. I know that you've been doing it for a while, and y'all care so much to make sure that your clients are satisfied.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
and there's
good.
lots of changes in the tax code, lots of changes in the market, so it's good to have somebody keeping track of that for you.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Caleb.
Yeah, thank you.
And if you would like more information about Foster Financial, we'll have their phone number listed below. You can give them a call and have them help you with your financial needs. And I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Foster Financial.
Follow us on social media at Living Local 15.
Enjoy fun in the sun on Living Local 15. Become a tourist in your own city. Visit your favorite spots and have some fun with me. From kayaking to rappelling off a building, I show you ways to have an adventure in Northeast Indiana every weekday morning at 9 on WANE 15. So join me, Jessica Williams, for Living Local 15.
Watch Living Local 15 with Jessica Williams weekdays at 9 on WANE 15 and catch past episodes on WANE.com.
We are now in pumpkin spice everything season. So today on Jessica's Gems, I wanted to introduce you to a really delicious pumpkin beverage that I found. Now, Pumpkin Spice Bourbon is a new bourbon by Hotel Tango. And they have all their fun flavors. So this time they released a bottle that infuses all the flavors of allspice, pumpkin, clove, cinnamon, and ginger. Now, there are so many ways you can drink it, but today I'm going to show you just an easy sipping way. This bourbon is a sipping bourbon, and I'm just going to pour it right here on this ice cube, just like that. Because this bourbon has only 30% alcohol value in it, you can actually enjoy it by sipping it. It has a really nice sweet flavor infused with all the fun holiday flair as well. So you can have it on ice, or if you just want a shot, in a shot glass. This color is so beautiful and rich, and the smell is so delightful. Now, this is a limited edition bourbon, and it really offers a delightful twist on the traditional taste. So you can make it as an old fashioned. They say you can add it in your cider. You can add a little Sprite, just kind of zhuzh it up however you enjoy your bourbon. You can find this product on their website listed below, and they also have a tasting room located in Indianapolis. And that's today's Jessica's Gems. Cheers.
Hi, I'm Karen Fursell, and this is Jacob Palmer, and we're back from bestreviews.com. We are talking Black Friday holiday deals, so be sure to take out your phone, scan that QR code that's on the screen, and get ready to scan, shop, and save. We have some great deals. Let's start with the Theragun Scents. This is a huge hit in my household.
And Therabody is always providing us with some of the most in-demand gifts, and this year is no different. They're really stepping their game up with this offering because it'll guide you through the recovery process. It'll help you in terms of making sure that you're getting the right intensity, and then there's also a bunch of different attachments you can use to make sure that you're hitting it exactly the way you want to.
That's great. The second thing is also a part of my kit, my hair kit, is the Revlon One-Step Volumizer. It is really a salon-worthy blowout right in your home. I really love this.
And it's a product that we're seeing really in demand from parents when they're thinking about gift giving. And right now we track these prices year round at Best Reviews, and this is one of the best prices we've seen.
Yeah, you definitely want to put this in your cart, for sure. Okay, the next is the iPad 10. I know the iPad is sort of ubiquitous everywhere, but this iPad 10 is really consumer friendly. They've moved a lot of the buttons.
So we absolutely love this recommendation for parents. They want to make sure that traveling's a little bit easier. This is a great product for them.
And it's a really good deal right now. And it's compatible with the other Apple products, so you can add the keyboard or the pen or anything like that. So that's great. And here's the Ninja. This is sort of like the it product for your kitchen this holiday season.
It is the Ninja Mega Kitchen System 1500. It comes with the food processor. It comes with this XL blender, and it also comes with a smoothie maker that you can use as well. It is going to be an awesome gift for that home chef in your life.
I feel like you can make your entire holiday meal with this. Well, let's take a look at all 4 products that we have today. Get ready to unlock some great deals and pricing, and get ready to scan, shop, and save.
Best Reviews is owned by our parent company, Nexstar. You can find more on the products and where to buy them on WANE.com.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group.
Well, that's our show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, you can always catch up on episodes and segments of Living Local 15 by going to WANE.com, downloading the WANE app, and also checking us out on YouTube. And I'll leave you with this. While you're out, give a little smile, give a little wave, share a little light and love today. Happy Thanksgiving, and I look forward to seeing you here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Content segments during today's Living Local 15 were paid for by these sponsors.